Welcome in everybody to tonight's AIF matchup between the Columbus Lions and the Harrisburg Stampede here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Myself, Luke Nichols, alongside Mike Garland. Happy to join you tonight. The last time these two teams matched up, the Stampede only put up 19 points, looking for a bit of a bounce-back game tonight.
That's for sure, Luke. And the reality is, you're never as bad as your worst performance, and you're not as good as your best performance. This was a Harrisburg Stampede team that came from behind in Week 1 to take down Cedar Rapids, completely decimated Maryland in Week 2, and then went on the road to Columbus, Georgia, and took it on the chin. So it's a night of redemption for the Harrisburg Stampede.
Always tough to go on the road, especially when you're down 4 starters. Those 4 starters will return tonight, and what will hopefully bring some more offensive production.
Well, and Coach Bernie Nowratoski, he's got to want something better from his offense. You can't win games in indoor football by putting up just 19 points. I mean, in Week 1, it was 40-plus points. Week 2, 84 points. Then, like I said, a shellacking last week. Now, conversely, for Columbus, this is their 4th game, but only their 2nd opponent. The first 2 weeks they played Amarillo, now Harrisburg 2 weeks in a row. So probably an opportunity for Columbus to look at this game today and say, well, what did we do well last week? Let's do it even better this week.
Let's take some of those points from that Maryland matchup and bring them over here. A nice 80-90 point game I think would suffice. But kickoff coming up momentarily. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Springtime is the right time to go big time at Faulkner Honda in Harrisburg. Get big time selection. Choose from rows and rows of new 2024 Pilots, Accords, Passports, and more. Get big time savings. Drive a new Civic, just $299 a month. Choose from a great selection of Honda CRVs from just $379 a month. It's springtime, so go big time at Faulkner Honda in Harrisburg. Get started at faulknerhonda.com to be sure.
We want to help simplify your life. Belco's checking accounts are easy to use, and most accounts have no minimum balance requirements or monthly service charges. No matter what bells are ringing, you can rely on checking with Belco. Because we believe in every person, every dream, every time. Join today at belco.org or any local branch. Belco Community Credit Union. Believe in better banking.
Welcome back in, everybody. Just moments away from kickoff. Back in here with myself, Luke Nichols, Mike Garland to my left. The Harrisburg Stampede are set to receive the opening kickoff. The Stampede wearing the blue and some neon green down the sides for their jerseys. The Columbus Lions in the gray and blue as well. Mike, any final thoughts before we're underway here?
Well, we think this is going to be a heated matchup. Of course, these two teams got together last week, and Columbus took it to Harrisburg 73-19. We saw some chirping pregame about an hour ago, but that time has run off the clock, and we're some 45 seconds away from actually kicking off here in the Equine Arena of the Pennsylvania State Farm Show Complex. So we'll see what these emotions look like when the first whistle blows and where we are about 3 hours from now.
The Lions are 3-0 on the year, and only one of their games was somewhat close when they beat the Amarillo Venom 47-26. Outside of that, just 2 more beatdowns against their opponents. As we are underway. Received cleanly, taken from the back of the end zone, has a lane up the right side, but then gets stuck. Actually keeps himself up, I thought. I thought Joel Green was about to drop him right there.
Drell Green made that initial contact, big hit on the kick return, stood him up, but then his teammates couldn't really finish the job. And you can see on the return with Beach and that contact right there. And then it took 2 more Lion players to bring him down.
No quit in A.J. Beach, the 5'10" DB from App State. And he looked like he had to put the hand down on the turf just to keep himself up. Probably a good decision there. Hurd in the pocket. 2 receivers to his left. Gets a snap, looking, has to evade the pocket quickly. Still looking downfield. Flag is thrown in the backfield. I think that's going to be a holding.
Likely a hold. It was a bit of a high shotgun snap, and that disrupted the timing of the play from the start, and it put Isaac Hurd on the run, and as he rolled out to the left, you get the holding penalty against one of the linemen for the Harrisburg Stampede, and it's never good when you're in negative down and distance to go territory right out of the gate.
Yeah, very first play, already with a 5-yard holding penalty. Not ideal, but looking to overcome. Sets up a 1st and 15.
A good time to point out that that's way better than a turnover, though.
Absolutely. At least you hang on to the ball. But Hurd had to roll out to his left very quickly, and had to do that because they're on the near side of the field here, so has really no space to roll out to his right. 3 receivers to his left. Snap. Clean this time. And he's going to lose a few more yards on that keeper.
Jacobin Ware busted right through, gets the quarterback sack. And I talked about the negative down in distance right out of the gate. Well, they're going backwards so far here in the 4th game of the year for the Stampede.
Have about -8 yards to open up this ball game. And there, I mean, again, Hurd kind of like the snap in the first play of the game where he didn't have any time to really read the defense. He had no time to wait for a hole or anything to develop there. Just kind of had to eat it.
Desmond Scott was also in on the stop for the Columbus Lions.
3 receivers to the right now. Clean snap, looking, airing it out into double coverage, and it is intercepted in the end zone, looking to make somewhat of a return, getting a few blocks, getting a few big blocks, but then flags are flying. That will most likely hurt this return, but a deep interception by number 1, Joel Green. So Green already making a few plays here.
Not a good start for the Harrisburg Stampede and head coach Bernie Nowatarski. The team went backwards on consecutive plays, then a turnover.
And they do get the blindside block there. I feel like that was an obvious call there, but let's take another look at it here. So kind of airing it out into double coverage, and that's the blindside block right there. Oh, my goodness.
Those decleaters that were glorified in the 70s and 80s and even into the 90s that have since been taken out of the game of football, they're great to see, but as a former player, albeit just a high school player, again, good to see, horrible to be on the receiving end of.
Yes. Been on a few of those on a kickoff return myself. I can vividly remember one in my JV year. It still hurts to this day.
I was going to say, if you vividly remember it, then it must not have been that hard of a hit.
That's a fair point. That is a fair point. The Lions starting from their own 5. Under center. A quick give. That goes for a loss of 1.
So what do we have? 3 plays from the line of scrimmage, -10 yards total, and a turnover?
Just about. Yuka Anya on the takedown there. He just almost never got touched going through the line. Made that easy stop. Actually going to back him up 2 yards.
There was a big jumble at the line of scrimmage from the initial snap.
It did look like somewhat of a mess. No one really got any penetration on that offensive line, and Anya got all of the penetration from the defensive line. 2nd and long. Dropping back, looking to throw. Quick pass, open, with space to work. Makes 1 man miss, makes 2, 3 men miss. Off to the races. Brought down at the 10-yard line. A massive gain for Demario Ewing.
Now, Marcus Brooks from the quarterback position has poise in the pocket. He took the snap and he hit Ewing, and Ewing showed speed across the turf here at the Equine Arena. Look at it one more time. Brooks takes the snap. That quick hitter to Ewing, and then Ewing zigging, zagging, looking like a kid that took a phone from his parents. Gets inside the 10.
And he was flying, correction, Demisio Ewing. Apologies on that, but just absolutely flying and set up in great territory, but the snap is fumbled, and the Stampede recover. Joshua Holly falls on it after the poor snap, and a huge turn of events for the Harrisburg Stampede.
Josh Holly is a math teacher in the Baltimore area, and he's using that process of addition and subtraction right there. That takes the turnover plus-minus ratio back to 0, by the way.
Net even here. And this, again, just nothing from the start. Actually looks like a decent snap. I just don't think it was ever
Brooks just didn't have a hold
cleanly.
of it.
Yeah, it just looked like he never kind of backed away with it and didn't fall on it, tried to pick it back up and make something out of nothing. As another bad snap, I have no clue what happened there. I believe it was snapped to the right guard.
It ended up in the hands of Aaron Brown, and it looks like he was not the intended recipient of that snap. And you can see it was actually a delayed snap by the center. And Casey Pierce, fortunate that there wasn't a false start call made against everyone but the center. You've heard that call at the NFL level. Everyone moved. He did not snap the ball. Then it ended up in the hands of Aaron Brown, and there's no two ways to put it. This has been a sloppy football game here in the first few minutes.
Still trying to get the sea legs under them.
In week 4.
Ball is over the head of the quarterback and recovered in the end zone for a defensive touchdown for the Lions. The Stampede are looking for a false start. I believe this is going to be ruled a touchdown.
Yes, because why not? Hey, how about instead of a false start, how about you just go when the ball snapped? That was just another play and some posturing now from the Columbus Lions on the Stampede side. And it's probably just best for all to walk away. 6 points for the Columbus Lions on a second consecutive faulty snap from center Casey Pierce. We saw this a lot in week 1. And again, the Stampede, lucky there wasn't a penalty. The left guard, left tackle, there's only 3 offensive linemen. So the guy left of the center was quick up as well.
Looks like it was Desmond Scott and DeAndre Brown, who both kind of fell on it. I believe Scott will get the credit for it. Looked like he had a better hold of it. But even then on that snap, it went straight over Hurd's head. It didn't look like he was ready for it. It kind of went over his head, and then he reacted. I don't think he was expecting that at all as we set up for the extra point attempt. What a start, huh?
Huh is right. That's just, I mean, the Stampede are going to get the ball back for their 3rd offensive possession. They have exponentially less yards forward than they do backwards.
Extra point kick is up and through. That will make it a 7-0 ball game as we start here. So the Stampede, yes, they do get the ball back. They trail 7-0, and the game plan for this drive here would have to be just we got to get some clean snaps and then focus on gaining yards, because so far it's just been a struggle.
It's funny you say that, because I was actually going to hit the joke of the game plan should be plus yardage. But before you can get plus yardage, you have to successfully execute a center to quarterback snap. You were talking about the touchdown. You know, in volleyball, if the front line, if a couple of guys or gals block the ball, you get like a block assist. Can you get like a half a touchdown? A touchdown assist. 2 guys are on the ball at the same time. And you can see right there you have center Casey Pierce and quarterback Isaac Hurd working on this shotgun center snap. And even there, those practice snaps are high. And as a former center, I know it's challenging because you're not looking back between your legs. You're just firing the ball back. But you also have to figure that these gentlemen have day-to-day jobs. They're going to the office from 9 to 5. They're getting together for practice after the fact. They are professional and they are getting paid, but it's exponentially different.
Absolutely. Kick is away. Caught cleanly by A.J. Beach. Beach past the 20, past the 25, and brought down in enemy territory. A solid return again for A.J. Beach. And here come the Stampede offense. And I guess, I mean, I can't speak on this. You probably can more so since you were a center, but I feel like it's just a rhythm thing. If you feel a few good snaps get back there, you're like, all right, let me harness that, let me keep that, and let's keep rolling with what I'm working with right now.
Exactly. Plus, you mess up one, now you start to overthink it, and you get a case of the yips. I always offer very dated sports references. So this is like Chuck Knobloch when he was playing second base for the Yankees, and he couldn't throw to first.
Got to remember how to throw to first. In this instance, it's get the ball to the quarterback. 2 men in motion, back to the right side. Ball snapped cleanly. Keeper by Hurd. Hurd, fighting off a few tacklers and gaining about 5 yards. What an effort from Isaac Hurd.
That was all Isaac Hurd, and ultimately, Luke, he's going to be credited for probably a 6 or 7 yard gain. It looked like a design quarterback keeper, and he did a nice job corralling that snap. It was online, and he picked up plus yardage. So the first positive yardage play of the day, but still, Harrisburg as a team, negative offensive yards.
We are nearing the positive yard territory. Even if we can get a touchdown before the positive yardage, that is ideal. Pass caught cleanly, 1 tackle broken, but then brought down just a few yards past the 10-yard line. That was Andrew Schroeder, the tight end, on the reception.
Schroeder has had sure hands all year, and Hurd has the time to find him. That's a connection that Coach Bernie Norotarski can count on game in and game out.
And that is the first completion for Isaac Hurd. And I'm happy that he just went to something easy, kind of somewhat of a check down low where he was wide open. Just see your guy catch one, try to get into a rhythm as a quarterback as well, and then build off of that. 1st and goal. Hurd takes the snap, looking left, rolling right, trying to go right up the middle, can't get to the goal line, brought down right around the 5-yard line.
DeKoven Ware makes the stop for the Columbus Lions, and the Stampede will have the ball close to the 5-yard line. A nice job by the front line of the Harrisburg Stampede engaging the defenders for the Columbus Lions and giving Hurd an opportunity, but in this game, your quarterback can't be doing it all on the ground. It's a passing league.
Hurd sets up again. 3 receivers to his left. Snap, looking left again, having out to roll to his right, and is brought down for the sack.
Desmond Scott got a hold of Isaac Hurd's jersey and just did not let go. Scott battled through, picks up what's going to be credited as a sack, and the Harrisburg Stampede going backwards one more time.
So Scott has a touchdown to his name today and a sack, and he just bull rushed through the line. And I mean, Hurd even evading him for a moment is impressive. He was just screaming right at him.
Scott ate up Hurd like I ate up that Rice Krispie treat pregame.
Looks pretty good.
It was decent. It was cookies and cream.
Ooh, I thought I saw like some kind of marshmallows or something.
And I didn't even ask questions as to how much it cost. I just said, give me that slushie and give me that Rice Krispie treat. And she said, give me your credit card.
That's probably a good move.
Yeah.
So 3rd and goal now after the sack from Scott. 3 receivers left. Fumbled snap for a moment. Looking left. Pass is caught, but brought down right around the 10-yard line. Schroeder again on the catch.
I'll tell you what, Luke, I'm not sure if it was a fumbled snap or if it may have deflected off one of the up men in the backfield for the Harrisburg Stampede. Either way, it's 4th down, and we'll see that replay one more time. Did it not go off the right hip? I do believe it did, off of Aaron Brown. So the Stampede literally can't get out of their own way in the first quarter.
It's a good eye there that you caught that, because it did kind of land on his left forearm of sorts, as we have a timeout called by the Stampede. We will step away for a moment as the Lions lead 7-0. Welcome back in here. A 4th and goal set up for the Harrisburg Stampede in this AIF matchup between the Stampede and the Columbus Lions. Looking to get on the board here as we have another stoppage by the backline judge.
It's a safety stoppage. The pad on the dasher board in the plus end zone has fallen off a couple of times, and with play going that direction, they want to make sure all the safety measures are in play before someone crashes into the wall.
That is a reasonable reason to stop. Hurd looking, throwing left into heavy traffic, and it is incomplete. It looks like it was number 11, I believe it was number 11, Michael Swan, trying to say he picked it off. He does not win that argument, but a turnover on downs. So no points yet for the Stampede as the Lions take over.
Well, the big kickoff return squandered by the Stampede, and you can see here Hurd under pressure, Desmond Scott giving chase, and that pass in the far side corner intended for Andrew Schroeder. Tipped, knocked out of bounds. Columbus tried to claim an interception, but ultimately you'd rather have the ball from the line of scrimmage and the incompletion than right there in the end zone anyway.
So somewhat of a break for the Lions. They do retain possession, leading 7-0. A chance to go up 2 scores here. And on that last play, real quick, Hurd really had nothing. He had to throw off his back foot and just kind of toss up a prayer. Can't really blame him there. 2 receivers left. Quick pass to the middle. Caught. Breaking 1 tackle, then brought down by pretty much half of the defense of the Stampede.
It's Amicio Ewing again with the catch, and so far he and Marcus Brooks have been on the same page. Most of the offense for the Columbus Lions have come from those 2 gentlemen. Of course, the one score was a defensive score.
But when they got down there into enemy territory inside the 10-yard line, it was because of the big catch and run by Demisio Ewing. So far it feels like they're going to keep running these short curl routes or any of these short routes at all with Ewing and just get him in open space and try to make a few defenders miss again. Under center. Looking, airing it out over the middle, a bit underthrown and broken up. A great defensive play by Jeremy Lewis. Maybe burnt a little bit, but recovered nicely.
Well, you talk about being burnt a little bit. I don't know if I can request a replay on demand. I don't know what it takes to get an offsides penalty by a wide receiver, but that intended receiver was at least 4 yards past the line of scrimmage before the ball was even snapped. You can see it right here. I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, there you go. He's 4 to 5 yards, so he was in the vicinity of the line of scrimmage.
I was looking for a flag for a moment, and I didn't see one, so I was going to keep rolling with it, but I'm glad, we saw the same thing there. 3rd down, just need a couple of yards for a first down, new set of downs. Quick throw to the right side, that'll be enough for a first. Good quick throw from Brooks, just ensuring that his team gets a fresh set.
Roman Zelilach, the recipient of that pass from Brooks. The chains will move, so another first down for Columbus. Really, the Lions have made it look easy in this first quarter, and you can see how they put up 73 against Harrisburg last week in South Georgia.
And they've been smart on offensive fields, especially this drive. I mean, you had the 2nd and short, so why not take a shot there? Because all it takes is just a quick completion to get a first down plus some more. So with a 1st and 10 here, really just a range of options to go to. Evades the pressure, looking over the middle. Oh, nearly tipped right into the arms of the receiver. Luckily batted away.
That was crazy. There was one receiver in the area, and I'm not sure that he was even the intended receiver, but the ball goes off of him, hits another, then they collide.
No offsides that time, so the pump fake and had to evade a decent rush, but just let's see it here.
Little contact early, and then some contact late. Friendly fire on the back end, and the pass is incomplete.
You saw number 12. It was Ewing again who was looking for the flag on the pass interference. Never got one. Brooks under center again. The snap. Looking deep. Throwing over the middle. Caught. Trying to fight for the end zone, and he is in there. Number 7, Ramon Deloach.
And it was Howard Holton that got beat for a moment, Luke. It looked like Holton may have had an interception. But instead, it's a Columbus touchdown. And with a running clock, we'll kick this extra point with likely 0 seconds left.
I believe that was what the officials were signaling. But let's look at this catch again. I believe, was it a one-handed catch? It looks like it was because his right arm was being held back. And then the effort from Deloach just to fight off a few different tacklers and fall into the end zone. You got to give him credit. I mean, he had the incredible catch, got himself open over the middle, and still fought for 6.
And Columbus gets ready for the extra point. It's taken them some time to get out today. It was like when I was out watching my daughter play soccer earlier. The amount of time it took 9-year-olds to set up for a corner kick. And here we are waiting for the extra point. Bryson Richardson.
The extended setup still leads to the extra point. That goes through. That's the end of the first quarter. We will step away and rejoin you as the Stampede trail 14-0. As we flip field positions here, the Stampede trail the Lions 14-0, but they do have a chance to get on the board for the first time today. Myself, Luke Nichols, with Mike Garland to my left. And Mike, outside of the snaps, you know, you got to get them cleanly. What else should the Stampede try to focus on here?
Gaining yards.
I like that one. That was my first thought as well.
Positive ones.
Positively gaining yards. The kick is away, and it's out of the back of the end zone. No chance for anybody that time.
That lady's going to fall over the wall onto the field. She's not careful back there. It's a different level of fan involvement. That's going to be a touchback on that kickoff, so the Stampede will have it first down and 10 for, I believe, their 4th offensive possession of the contest. The previous 3, not so good.
They got down in the red zone last time, had a 1st and goal situation, and just squandered it. Really just no production once they got in a goal-to-go situation. It's a few throws, some kind of force it into double coverage from Hurd. He tried to scramble a bit, but the Lions held strong defensively.
A new quarter for the Stampede, new opportunities. If one team can score 14 and a quarter, the other team can do the same. So we'll see what we get here over the next 15 minutes from Coach Nowatarski's squad.
Hurd In the gun, takes a snap, toss right, trying to find some space right. Had to cut it back left, and so your keys to the second quarter already off to a rough start, going backwards yet again.
I've lost my keys. It's Marcus Taylor that time around took the pitch, but when you don't have the blocking, it's tough to turn it upfield and make something out of nothing.
For a second, I thought Taylor could have gotten that edge there, but the Lions quickly collapsed on him and really just had nothing to work with out there.
The Harrisburg Stampede mascot is now off to our left, posing with some children who seem unfazed by the mascotedness of the bull.
Sometimes mascots can be scary. Not the Stampede mascot here, though.
He's friendly.
Seems like a very friendly mascot, very friendly bull. In the gun yet again, second and long. Looking, Hurd, under pressure. Ooh, evades one sack, ducks under it, still looking downfield, over the middle, incomplete. Threw it a bit too low to the intended target, Andrew Schroeder.
Well, under pressure again from the start, scrambles back to his right, and then is decimated against the wall. He was throwing off his back foot in the first place. You can see the snap was actually online, but then the edge rusher was right there. Heavy pressure from DeAndre Brown. Hurd goes back to his right, and as he's throwing, gets planted into the Let's Go Stampede billboard over there from Spooky Nook Sports.
Brown is listed as 6'7". You saw him there coming off the edge, and he kind of went all arms at Hurd. Got to be tough to get low if you're a 6'7" defensive end.
You know, there's some people that say I wouldn't want to see them in a dark alley. That guy is built as such. I wouldn't want to see him in a well-lit room.
The snap, looking left, over the middle. Pass is caught and then fumbled. Are they going to say incomplete? Yes, they will rule it incomplete. A very lucky break for the Stampede.
Stampede dodged a bullet there. Coach Nowotarski told us back in week 1 that his quarterbacks need at least 2.4 seconds or less to be successful in the passing game, and Hurd just does not have that time right now.
It was Marcus Taylor who caught the ball and then coughed it up, as this will now result
field goal unit has come on.
Field goal situation. It's a 4th and long, so how do you feel about this decision?
You need points.
Yeah.
You've got a kicker with a strong leg. He hasn't had too many field goal opportunities this season, but you send Joe Panuccio out there and you let him give it a go.
Panuccio out of Rider University. The kick is up, and it is left. Nearly took out the windshield of the pickup truck. Thankfully, it's a soft ball. It's not a baseball, so wouldn't have done much damage.
So that missed kick acts as a touchback as well. A de facto punt, if you will, in indoor football. So Columbus will have the ball 1st and 10 from its own 10, but really the yardage and positioning has meant nothing to Columbus. They've been able to do what they've needed to do when they need to do it. Offensive touchdown, defensive touchdown. Harrisburg Stampede, negative yards through the first quarter plus.
Back at their own 10. You got to imagine this may be Demisio Ewing territory again. Just try to get it to him on a quick curl, a slant, a quick out route, something, and let him go to work. He's got the bright orangey yellow cleats on, so tough to miss him. Under center, looking deep. Has plenty of time, throwing deep over the middle, and it is intercepted. What a break for the Stampede, picked up by number 24, Howard Holton.
A nice job by Holton. That was just an ugly throw from Marcus Brooks. Threw off his back foot. It was underthrown. It fluttered, and it gave Howard Holton a chance to come back for it and corral it. That's the second turnover in the favor of the Harrisburg Stampede. And again, you see Brooks throwing off that back foot. Bit of a wobbler, a duck, if you will. And Holton steps in for the interception. So now the plus-minus ratio for the Stampede is +1.
There we go. Winning the turnover battle. Usually that is a good sign. When you're down 14-0, it, takes it back a little bit, but a good sign nevertheless. And he was looking for Ewing there, just like you said, off his back foot. Airmailed it a bit and fell right into the lap of Holton.
Now an official's stoppage. The clock winds.
So let's see if the Stampede can capitalize after the turnover. Two receivers. Running left. Short throw left. Quick catch. And then brought down immediately. Todd Simmons with the reception.
Simmons had the catch, and then Drell Green, Johnny on the spot, made contact right away. It was a gain of about 5 before Green made the tackle, but no yards after catch that time around for Simmons.
It's early second quarter, and Joel Green has already felt like he's everywhere on the defensive side of the ball, just making plays almost every single time, at least 2 defensive possession, it feels. Two receivers running left. Hurd looking left. Over the middle. Has a man open. Got to be careful with that ball. Gets some run after the catch there, and then is brought down past the 15-yard line, but a great catch and picking up a few more yards again from Todd Simmons.
Todd Simmons has been a beast. He had 3 touchdowns in week 1. Had another last week, 2 weeks ago, against Maryland. And a nice job for Hurd and for Simmons to catch that one, then battle forward. Referees probably let that play go a little bit too long. It's his forward momentum had been stopped. You risk injury the longer you let something like that go.
Good spacing as well. You saw Andrew Schroeder right above Simmons on those kind of double crossing routes, double dig routes, and Schroeder was a few yards ahead of him, luckily not colliding into each other or bringing a defender right into the play to Simmons. 1st and 10, Hurd looking, stepping up in the pocket, having to scramble, and is brought down. Looks like he'll be marked at the 9-yard line.
DeAndre Brown, I believe Monte Sears as well, converged to make the tackle. This has been Harrisburg's best-looking offensive drive of the game and their first real threat for points on the board. Although we've seen them close to the goal line before, and the offense ultimately went backwards and turned the ball over.
It is still 2nd and 6, though. It's not a goal-to-go situation, so they can get the first down and get a fresh set of downs, which would make it a goal-to-go situation. So just even more chances here, but you want to punch it in sooner rather than later. 2nd and 6, the snap. Looking left. Rolling left, evading a sack, and Hurd walking into the end zone.
Benjamin Stanley, check that. DeAndre Brown was the one coming in from the backside, and he closed fast on Isaac Hurd. If Hurd doesn't evade that would-be sack, it'd be a big loss. Instead, you can see Hurd taking the snap, and Brown coming in fast from the backside. And Hurd turned on the jets, and the signal caller out of Southern Oregon University, who's originally from Hawaii, who can't totally enjoy this weather we're having right now, put 6 on the board.
Gray, a little bit of cold and some rain. I don't think he likes it too much. Extra point is up and no good. So it will stay a 14-6 ball game. But you saw on that scramble again when he was moving out to his left, DeCoven Ware had a chance. He tried to swipe at the legs of Hurd, and he just got that quick high step to avoid being tripped up by Ware. And he was the only one who had a chance before he went into the end zone. So
you
just a good heads-up play.
You got to keep the feet moving. You stay active. You run around in the pocket, and good things can happen. Of course, if you stay back there too long, bad things can happen. But Isaac Hurd had the wherewithal to turn it upfield and find pay dirt.
Some good pocket presence early on from Hurd, even on the previous scramble where the pocket collapsed quickly, and usually, your first instinct is to try to get outside the numbers, get to the outside of the pocket of the tackle box. He steps up and gets some extra yardage just by running straight up the middle. So just good awareness, and it's tough to think of that in the moment. But the Stampede will kick off for the first time tonight, and no surprise as Demisio Ewing is the return man for the Columbus Lions.
Joe Panuccio will kick off. He's missed his last 2 kicks for the Stampede, a missed field goal and a missed extra point. So he's looking for something a little bit better this time around when foot meets ball.
Foot meets ball, takes one bounce, and goes out of play.
I think a touchback is an acceptable result.
I mean, again, I'm still thinking about that first catch Ewing had where he broke about 3 players' ankles. I'll take a touchback in that scenario. So the Lions trotting back out on the field. Brooks looking to bounce back after throwing up that interception to Holton. But the Stampede with some momentum here for the first time all game. You get the quick score, somewhat of a quick score, but you get the interception, the score. Looking for a stop defensively now.
It would be a huge stop, and we saw this in week 1, Luke, when Harrisburg fell behind Cedar Rapids. They were actually down 20-13 at one point before surging forward from the second quarter on for that week 1 victory. So still a lot of football left for sure.
2 men in motion in the backfield. The snap, looking quickly, quick pass, and dropped. It was intended for Deloach, and he was thinking about taking that upfield before he pulled it in.
Well, they always tell you in the TV games that he was looking upfield, took his eyes off the pass. He was wide open and just flat out dropped it. You see the motion men, the one receiver held up on the top side of the screen, and then Deloach just saw it go in and out of his hands and fall to the turf.
Maybe heard the footsteps from number 15, Matt Hodges, who was making his way out there, and also number 24, Howard Holton, who was flying right at Deloach. 2nd and 10. Brooks drops back, looking over the middle, caught by Ewing. Ewing brought down immediately, looks to be, maybe a foot short of the first down marker.
A.J. Beach, the tackle for the Harrisburg Stampede. The first half clock continues to wind. And even though we know time goes fast between the first quarter and most of the second, you get to that 1-minute warning and time almost literally stands still.
They're going to roll it, a 3rd and 1. I thought he was tackled much closer to that first down marker, but still a 3rd and 1 for the Lions. Snap, quick throw out to Deloach. Got the catch this time and just takes an extra shuffle step for that first down.
Gets the first down, and there's a couple of kids in the front row. Dad's got one, mom's got the other, presumably twins based on the way they're dressed. And the young one with dad was very close to the action. I think she was startled a bit. You see the replay one more time. That pass completed to Deloach, and there you go. Dad and daughter right there to check out the action up close. And she's thinking, Dad, we're a little too close there.
She took her eyes off the action. She wasn't ready. Got to pay attention at all times. But
She's
on
like
that
4.
catch, you got to be ready. Another timeout on the field was called by the Columbus Lions. We will step away for a moment as the Lions lead 14-6. Welcome back in after the break. 5:02 on the clock. The Columbus Lions on offense looking to bounce back from that interception from their quarterback Brooks in the last possession. Some confusion offensively, I believe, or between the officials. One of the two. As now we're set. 2 men in motion on the left side. Brooks looking deep, throwing deep, has a man, incomplete. Went crashing into that padded wall and slow to get up is number 10, Tramel Gooden.
Not sure if that wall was built by Home Depot or Lowe's, but the padding certainly helped protect Gooden. A nice deep pass from the arm of Marcus Brooks. Hard impact on the coverage for the Harrisburg Stampede, Howard Holton. And at some point, I'm going to have to ask what it takes to be offsides when you're in motion at the snap.
Yeah, I saw that. I threw my arm up, kind of thinking, but
whatever it is, it's not what we've seen so far.
Nope, no, it's not. No, it's not. But again, great coverage by Howard Holton. Was there every step of the way and got a hand in there, just forcing the incompletion. Brooks dropping back again, looking deep again, over the middle. Ewing was open, and a bit of an overthrow from Brooks, and maybe a bit of a grab from Holton, but we'll chalk that up as good defense.
Yuka Anya with the quarterback pressure. He ran right through Marcus Brooks, the spark plug from Shippensburg University. 5'11", 300 pounds, quick hands, good feet, plays with anger. And you can see he drove right through Marcus Brooks. Nothing wrong with a good football player out of Shippensburg University.
Absolutely not.
They put a couple in the league.
Oh, yeah, who's the fullback's name?
John Kuhn out of the Dover area. Brent Grimes. And then Rob Davis, who was a long snapper for the Green Bay Packers, and I believe works in the front office now.
Brooks looking, has time, going to his right. Oh, the pass is caught. A contested catch by Deloach, just trapping it right at his chest and getting a fresh set of downs for the Lions.
There was some early contact, and he was able to hold on despite that contact as the clock continues to wind towards the 1 minute warning in the second quarter. See it one more time. Brooks rolls to his right, hits the receiver underneath, and you saw that early contact, but regardless, the chains move for another Columbus first down.
A.J. Beach was right there, was literally on the back of Deloach and had an arm in there. Deloach with a contested catch and then an extended dance along to Fergie after the catch. Brooks dropping back again, throwing deep, just had to get that one away as he was under heavy pressure by, I believe, number 57, Josh Holly.
Josh Holly was there. Brooks, as you said, Luke, under pressure, and he was able to get it off, a little underthrown, and fortunate for Columbus, the ball fell short. And you have head coach Damon Daniels in the ear of the official, wondering where the pass interference was because there was contact between the defender and the receiver. But at the same time, Brooks threw the ball long. The receiver cut out towards the flag on the far side of the field, towards the down stick.
Yeah, it never looked like he was going to make his way upfield. It kind of felt like he was just going to try to get that curl and work that intermediate portion of that far side. And even then, you could kind of tell that it was a throwaway from Brooks. He just got it out as quick as possible. Second down now, bumping into his running back, looking left, and it is, oh wow, nearly caught by Ewing as Holton, was there again. Holton almost ran past it.
Well, despite how poor the Harrisburg offense has played in this first half, the defense has been tough. You figure this defense for the Stampede has only given up one touchdown. The other was an offensive turnover in the end zone, and we've reached the 1 minute warning.
So it'll be a 3rd and 10 for the Lions. And you saw it on the replay there. Howard Holton, he made such a great break on that ball. You saw it go right through his hands, and that's why Ewing nearly had a chance at it. I thought Holton made such a great break on it that he overshot it, and it went behind him. It just went right through his hands. He nearly had his second interception of the game.
This is a big defensive stand for the Stampede as well, because Columbus will get the ball to start the second half. So you don't want to give up points now and then immediately be on defense coming out of the locker room at halftime. I mean, you are going to be on defense one way or the other, but you certainly don't want to give up points and then risk giving up more points. And in this game, with the way the timing's going to work over the next 60 seconds to 15 minutes, you could put 2 more scores on the board.
Yes. Yes, you could. Looking to get a stop here, and 4th and 10. You're in enemy territory. I wonder if they try to go for it, being up 14-6, but we'll have to see. Looking, Brooks has plenty of time in the pocket, going over the middle, and it is caught for the touchdown. Ewing with his first touchdown of the day. And it was just a strike over the middle from Marcus Brooks.
Well, everything I just said that couldn't happen did. But on the plus side, that only took 7 seconds off the clock, or really 6.4. So Harrisburg is going to get the ball back with 2 timeouts and an opportunity to come right back down the field. You can score quick in this game.
Plenty of time to get that one back. And if they work the clock correctly, hopefully they can, work it down there with little to no time left, as the extra point is up and good, making it a 21-6 ball game. The Lions struggled a bit those last 2 offensive drives. Even before that touchdown, they got into Stampede territory, but it was really it was tough sledding getting into Stampede territory, and then that touchdown looked easy.
Harrisburg played pretty well on that defensive possession, but ultimately you're right. Columbus was able to put the ball in with ease. The receiver was right there. Brooks really hasn't had a hard time hitting his targets when he's had the time. He was actually under a little bit of pressure. There was a rush coming in from his left from Devin Thomas. Thomas was down on the ground and was trying to basically crawl towards Brooks' feet. Couldn't get there. Regardless, it's 6 points, then 7 with the extra point for the Columbus Lions, and they're up by 2 scores.
So 53 seconds until halftime. The Stampede set to receive, and they've been, tough to move the ball downfield, some extended drives. An extended drive here wouldn't hurt you in the fact, like you said, you have 2 timeouts, and clock stops on every incompletion, so you don't really have to rush here. You don't have to, go so up-tempo. Kick is away, caught by Beach. Beach with some room to run, looking to go up the middle, and he is met by Ewing at the 20.
He wasn't only met by Ewing, he was impacted by Ewing. The big hit, then he picked him up and threw him to the turf here in the Equine Arena.
And they will mark his forward progress just past the 20-yard line at the 21. That was my pause. I wanted to see, when they blew the whistle, he already got pushed back about 4 yards. I don't know if they were going to come lose those yards. That would be unfortunate. Luckily, starting at the 21. Again, just a good return by Beach, taking on a big hit for the second time today, and he's a fighter. 2 men in motion to Hurd's left. The snap, Hurd rolling right, throwing right, and it is batted down. Luckily incomplete, as it looked like it was in the hands of number 9, Kyle Griswold.
Well, you had a big guy on the far side getting the arms up and was able to knock it down. Griswold with the deflection. It makes it 2nd down. Certainly no Christmas vacation blocking him.
Almost went Griswold, too. As Griswold, it really was that close to going Griswold, so glad you caught that, too. And that's going to be, let's find out. They threw it on the defensive side, so I'd have to imagine that'll be an offsides, an encroachment of some sorts on the Lions, but never be too sure.
We'll wait for that official call coming momentarily.
And it will be offsides on the Lions. They got number 74, Desmond Scott. Okay, yeah.
So while it's okay that 2 and 3 receivers are into the secondary before the ball snapped, it is not okay when the front line is in the backfield before the ball is snapped. I think we've come to understand that.
It's an offensive league. Who knows?
There you go.
It's an offensive league.
I'm actually surprised the NFL hasn't gone by way of the Canadian Football League with the men in motion running towards the line of scrimmage. They want those yards and they want those points up.
Yeah. Don't give them any ideas. They may go to that soon. Hurd stepping up, trying to make the man. Oh, he stiff arms him to the dirt. What a run by Isaac Hurd.
Casey Pierce is down at midfield for the Stampede, and a nice job by Hurd, and a big crash into the dasher boards, and there may be a player down on the near side as well.
It looks like it. Can't see the number for the Lions. Let's see if we can check out what happened to Pierce here. You see him on the ground early, so really not sure what happened, but there's the stiff arm from Hurd. Looks like it was number 16 for the Lions.
DeCoven Ware. So Ware is up. He's going to make his way back towards the bench, which the benches in this league, or at least in this arena, are in the end zones. So he's going to make the slow journey back to his bench. Be tended to by any trainers or medical professionals or WebMD browsers. Who knows? Although I don't know about you, but if you've ever had an issue and you go to WebMD, it's a horrible idea.
It's the worst. It is truly terrible.
Like, I look up, what is this rash on my arm, and before you know it, I think I'm going to need an amputation.
Well, I've had a headache for 2 days, and it's like I should get my will in order. Yeah, try to stay away from that as much as I can.
Fair.
Gives you too many options of what it could be.
Yes.
35 seconds left. 1st and 10 after the run from Hurd. The snap. Hurd drops back. Steps up in the pocket. Looking to scramble again. Running to his left and gets tossed over the barrier. Some extracurriculars in the end zone as well. Hurd seems to be okay, and this is going to be a gross understatement, but thank goodness for the padding along the sides.
Yeah, and the people who I think sort of maybe helped soften the landing. And he's running hard over to the side and just gets jacked, flips over. That guy in the hat took a cleat to the head. And then everybody tries to help him up right away. You know what? He just landed on his head. Let him lay there for a second and get his bearings.
Yeah, I was going to say, it didn't really look like anybody helped him land safely. They were just kind of in the vicinity to make sure he was okay. But a crushing hit from Tramel Gooden along that near side. Hurd, a warrior though, and this may be an offsides again. Actually, one flag went to the defensive side, and then the far side line judge threw a flag on the offensive end. Some hand pointing from the offense and defense.
I have never seen a false start flag where both sides weren't pointing one way or the other. It's going to be called against the defense, which is a bonus for the Harrisburg Stampede. But what's not a bonus is that center Casey Pierce is still being tended to by the professionals of the medical variety in the Stampede bench, which means your tight end Aaron Brown out of Moravian, who has caught a touchdown pass this year, is now playing center. So if you thought you had concerns with the guy who was the center snapping to the quarterback, now you have a guy who is your tight end snapping.
Well, let's see if it's a clean snap.
The first few have been, for what it's worth. But if you're Coach Nowatarski, you want your tight end catching passes, not snapping footballs.
I would have to agree there, yes. Clean snap there. Hurd looking, rolling right and is swallowed behind the line of scrimmage.
Wow. Isaac Hurd has been used in a variety of negative ways during this latest drive.
It was number 0, Marte Sears, just flying right at Isaac Hurd, and Hurd really had nowhere to take that ball. He couldn't scramble. His only option was to throw up a prayer or just take the sack, and he takes a tough sack.
With a hit like that, he's fortunate he's not just throwing up. I mean, you've heard of implements of destruction. He is the implement that's been destroyed over the last couple of plays. Hard into the boards, over the boards, sacked. I think for Isaac Hurd, these last 19.7 seconds can't go fast enough.
He's looking for a completion of any kind where he can just sit in the pocket, deliver a strike, and nobody touches him for maybe one snap.
A timeout had been called. And Harrisburg Stampede will be retiring another member of their team at halftime. There's 2 numbers hanging in the rafters now, or in the end zone, if you will. And they'll retire another number coming up at halftime.
It'd be nice to lead into that ceremony with a score here.
Well, knowing that you're going to be on defense coming out of the locker room, a score before the half would be great. They are in field goal range, but again, Panuccio's missed a field goal already, missed an extra point, and down 21-6. You need 6 points.
Yes.
You don't need 3.
Yes. 6 is better and more than 3, last I checked.
Josh Hawley agrees.
Hurd looking to his left, firing a strike for the touchdown. Just a bullet to number 82, Patrick Gorman.
There's the 6. Oh, geez. As if Isaac Hurd hasn't been beat up enough, Aaron Brown just bench pressed him up and then down.
Just can't stay off the turf.
Well, you can see Hurd here in the gun. Quick bullet completed to Gorman. And Gorman hauls it in. The Stampede will kick the extra point and try to pull it with an 8.
Great spatial awareness there from Gorman, not running right into that barrier and just making the catch, keeping the 2 feet in, and getting 6. Now let's get the extra point here. 0 for 1 on extra point attempts tonight. Panuccio looking to see one just go through the uprights.
Well, again, you have a different center firing it back to the holder.
Clean snap, clean hold, and it's off the left upright.
And Panuccio was hit, and he is down.
It looks like it's the right kicking leg of Panuccio as well. So you get 6, but your center is injured on the drive, and now Panuccio is hobbled walking off the field. You get 6, but it almost feels like 4.
See the replay, the kick, and yeah, kind of a sweep the leg, got the right leg, and maybe Panuccio is selling it a little bit, trying to draw the flag, but there's still a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up as he's walking down to the end zone to our right. He's a tough gentleman, though. A local high school soccer coach from Mechanicsburg High School. How else do you teach your kids about being tough and playing through adversity than do it yourself?
Set the example, a visual example.
And as I try to tell my kids when they play soccer and they say, oh, this hurt. I said, are you hurt or are you injured? Well, it hurts. Okay, but are you hurt or are you injured? There's a difference.
Yeah.
Pain is temporary. Glory is forever. These are conversations I have with my 12 and 9-year-olds.
I was going to ask.
Suck it up, kid. Put a Band-Aid on it. Rub some dirt on it. You'll be great.
Doesn't matter what age, like you said, glory is forever. Whether it's 9, 3, 23, glory is glory. Awaiting the kickoff. 15 seconds left until halftime. It will be ruled a touchback. And a nice catch by the gentleman along the side.
Talk about glory. Al Bundy, eat your heart out. And the guy with him, that's a solid beard game. What that man lacks, that guy lacks in hair on his head, he makes up for it in chin fur.
Look at that.
I mean,
he didn't even catch it.
He did drop it, but
never mind.
it's all right. I think he gets to take it
Never
home. Unlike Isaac Hurd going over the wall, you get to keep the football, I believe.
All right, that's not
You
bad.
can't keep the player. Plus, you don't have to feed the football, and you don't have to,
That is true. I'll
take care of it.
Yeah.
Too many responsibilities when you take a breathing item home.
Yeah, exactly. Football, you can kind of throw on a shelf and look at it every so often. Oh, no, I'm taking away some credit after seeing the drop. I saw him making a move like he was going to return it. I thought he caught it. I just assumed that he did.
Played on the bounce.
That is true. Oh, he's getting a picture with him now.
Well, a football selfie. I will say, there's a really nice crowd here. This is the third Stampede game I've been part of this season. The return of the Stampede and a nice audience. Probably the best crowd of the year.
This is my first appearance here, filling in for Chris Markowitz, and I gotta say, it is a nice crowd. It's a lively crowd as well. Some good reactions from the people along the sidelines and the borders here.
Well, it's cold and raining outside, so there's really nothing to do out there. You might as well come in here and enjoy some football.
That is a very good point.
Tomorrow, however.
So now the Lions looking for a late score, looking deep over the middle. It is caught, breaking a tackle, and will be brought down right around the 10-yard line. The Lions take a timeout with 8 seconds on the play clock.
Yuka Anya had the quarterback pressure on Marcus Brooks, but Brooks was able to stand in the pocket, complete the pass across midfield into plus territory. The chains move. And then because the pass was made in what is considered inbounds territory, head coach Damian Daniels needed to call a timeout to stop the clock with 8.1 seconds to go. I talked about how much scoring can happen in this game, let alone under a minute when you have those stoppages. And here we go. We saw the Stampede score, we saw the Lions score, and now the Lions are looking to do it again.
All under a minute. Really impressive stuff. They got 8 seconds, so they could easily get off 2 plays here, maybe 3 if they're quick enough, but looking for another strong stop from the Stampede. Again, just a reminder, we've talked about it enough here, but the Lions do receive the ball coming out of halftime.
Well, in a rodeo, you get 8 seconds to ride the bull for the glory, and those 8 seconds go quick. I'm not sure these 8 seconds will go as fast, nor will they be as vicious, but we'll see what the Stampede D can do.
Brooks drops back. Oh, he trips over his running back, I believe. That's going to cause an immediate timeout from the Lions.
Yeah, that's no good way to go forward.
Nope.
And Delatash was almost literally in the end zone before the ball was snapped.
Let's watch it again, see if we get a clear view of how he trips here. Almost looked like a combination of the running back. It was number 74 who was in the backfield, Desmond Scott. But then the offensive lineman on his left side may have ran into Brooks as well.
One more look from a different angle. And again, there goes Delatash. He's just off picture before the ball's even snapped. And yes, it was the left blocker. Again, I'm not sure whether you'd call that person the left tackle or the left guard, but the guy to the left of the center was the one that stepped back in pass protection and knocked his own quarterback down. Friendly fire forces Columbus to have to take its final timeout with 4.3 seconds left.
But a few friendly fires in this first half. So 4 seconds. Brooks dropping back, looking to his right. A 50-50 ball is incomplete.
That lady couldn't put her phone down enough to catch a ball. She still hasn't put it down. She would not put that phone down to pick up a football. The clock stops with 0.1 seconds. Usually in the home gym, that's not something you see. And head coach Bernie Nowatarski kind of points up to the scorer's table. They're chuckling up here. That kind of time, you'd think the clock would hit 0, but instead, the visitors have one more chance for the last play of the quarter.
0.1. I looked at the clock. I saw 0.1. I was kind of still looking at it to see if they, sneakily took it away. But 0.1. One last chance for the Lions before we head into halftime. Brooks, 2 receivers to his right, looking over the middle, and it is dropped. Oh, Ewing had it in his palms. He had 6 and he coughed it up before running into the barrier.
That's an unfortunate way to end the first half for the Columbus Lions, but a fortuitous end to the quarter for the Harrisburg Stampede. Dodging the bullet and trailing by just 9. Brooks let it fly, and it absolutely was in the hands of Ewing. And he dropped it. Flat out dropped it. Or it was Marcus Brooks, excuse me. Flat out dropped it.
That is a big break for the Harrisburg Stampede. They trail 21-12 going into the halftime break. We'll be right back and rejoin you for second half action.
If I could take you up in boom, 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 tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Life could be a dream. And I ding dong, plans would come true. And I ding dong, my whole life loving you. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello again, shaboom, and hoping we meet again.
Springtime is the right time to go big time at Faulkner Honda in Harrisburg. Get big time selection. Choose from rows and rows of new 2024 Pilots, Accords, Passports, and more. Get big time savings. Drive a new Civic, just $299 a month. Choose from a great selection of Honda CR-Vs from just $379 a month. It's springtime, so go big time at Faulkner Honda in Harrisburg. Get started at FaulknerHonda.com to be sure.
At Belco, we want to help simplify your life. Belco's checking accounts are easy to use, and most accounts have no minimum balance requirements or monthly service charges. No matter what bells are ringing, you can rely on checking with Belco. Because we believe in every person, every dream, every time. Join today at belco.org or any local branch. Belco Community Credit Union. Believe in better banking.
Welcome back in here on the Stampede YouTube, brought to you by the Sports Fan Base Network. Myself, Luke Nichols, alongside Mike Garland. Quick halftime, first half recap here, Mike. Just quick thoughts.
Quick thoughts are the Stampede can't get out of their own way. They showed some life. They've scored 2 touchdowns in this first half, but a missed field goal, 2 missed extra points, and all of a sudden they're down by 9 points, and Columbus will have the ball to start the third quarter. They really have had very few bright spots, although there have been some. We've seen some fancy runs from Isaac Hurd. We've also seen a couple of good catches from Patrick Gorman, but defensively, they're just not able to get enough pressure on Marcus Brooks to make a difference.
Now, the pressure has been very limited, and even then, some of the pressures are because Marcus Brooks is just knocking into his own teammates. He's tripping over the left guard's foot, running into his running back, and even then, on the offensive end, like you said, Hurd, some nice runs, but the passing game has not been there. I mean, a few quick dump-offs here and there, but usually those quick passes, you want to see them turn into, some run-after-catch yards or yards after catch. And the lines have just been all over these Stampede receivers.
Absolutely, and this is a passing league. I've said it once before, I'll say it again. It's a passing league. Indoor football is a passing game, and you're not going to win if your success is based on your quarterback scrambling and running. It's just, you take it to a higher level. Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens, great quarterback, MVP of the league. But you can't win just by running around, and when it comes time to actually pass, if you can't get the job done, you're going to lose the game.
Looking to some kind of a spark in the offense in the second half. We'll step away yet again, and by the time we come back, we'll talk with Coach Bernie, and we'll see you there.
Springtime is the right time to go big time at Faulkner Honda in Harrisburg. Get big time selection. Choose from rows and rows of new 2024 Pilots, Accords, Passports, and more. Get big time savings. Drive a new Civic, just $299 a month. Choose from a great selection of Honda CR-Vs from just $379 a month. It's springtime, so go big time at Faulkner Honda in Harrisburg. Get started at FaulknerHonda.com to be sure.
We want to help simplify your life. Belco's checking accounts are easy to use, and most accounts have no minimum balance requirements or monthly service charges. No matter what bells are ringing, you can rely on checking with Belco. Because we believe in every person, every dream, every time. Join today at belco.org or any local branch. Belco Community Credit Union. Believe in better banking.
you up in boom, 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 boom. Tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Life could be a dream. And I ding dong, plans would come true. And I ding dong, my whole life loving you. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello again, shaboom, and hope we meet again.
Springtime is the right time to go big time at Faulkner Honda in Harrisburg. Get big time selection. Choose from rows and rows of new 2024 Pilots, Accords, Passports, and more. Get big time savings. Drive a new Civic, just $299 a month. Choose from a great selection of Honda CR-Vs from just $379 a month. It's springtime, so go big time at Faulkner Honda in Harrisburg. Get started at FaulknerHonda.com.
Belco, we want to help simplify your life. Belco's checking accounts are easy to use, and most accounts have no minimum balance requirements or monthly service charges. No matter what bells are ringing, you can rely on checking with Belco. Because we believe in every person, every dream, every time. Join today at belco.org or any local branch. Belco Community Credit Union. Believe in better banking.
Welcome back to the Pennsylvania State Farm Show Arena and the smaller Equine Arena for tonight's indoor football action. The Harrisburg Stampede, the Columbus Lions. Mike Garland, Luke Nichols here on cast, and we're going to send it down to Luke with head coach Bernie Nowatarski. Luke.
All right, thank you, Mike. I'm here with Coach. So, Coach, what'd you tell your team going into halftime?
Just keep getting pressure on their offense, get after their quarterback, keep coverage the way we're going, and offense, keep moving the ball down the field and put it in the end zone.
Heard scrambling so much in that first half. Did you try to tell him, hey, try to wait for some of the, plays to develop some more so you don't get hit along the barriers every time?
Yeah, they've got an extremely fast defense, so, they get after you pretty quick. So, I'm thankful at this point. He's a mobile quarterback. He can get himself out of trouble, but, I'd like to see him have a little less moving around.
What about injuries to the center and the kicker? They're good to go in the second half?
The center's cleared. We'll play it by series, and the kicker says he's all right. I'm not going to give any secrets away here, but if we score, we're going for 2.
Not a bad plan. Not a bad plan at all. Coach, thank you for joining me. Guys, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Luke, and he'll rejoin us back up here in the broadcast booth momentarily. The halftime clock has been reset for the last 5+ minutes as the teams are finally making their way out of the locker room. So we'll kick off the second half here in just a bit. And as Coach Nowatarski said, he's not giving away anything that anybody else doesn't know. If they score, they're going for 2. At this point, they're down 9, and Panuccio's missed 2 extra points and a field goal. So that's 5 points that they've left on the field. 5 points you can't get back. So every point is at a premium, and you want to make sure that you're getting those points where and when possible. We'll kick off the second half at some point soon. We're going to take a quick break. Stampede football on SFBN.
Springtime is the right time to go big time at Faulkner Honda in Harrisburg. Get big time selection. Choose from rows and rows of new 2024 Pilots, Accords, Passports, and more. Get big time savings. Drive a new Civic, just $299 a month. Choose from a great selection of Honda CR-Vs from just $379 a month. It's springtime, so go big time at Faulkner Honda in Harrisburg. Get started at faulknerhonda.com to be sure.
want to help simplify your life. Belco's checking accounts are easy to use, and most accounts have no minimum balance requirements or monthly service charges. No matter what bells are ringing, you can rely on checking with Belco. Because we believe in every person, every dream, every time. Join today at belco.org or any local branch. Belco Community Credit Union. Believe in better banking.
Welcome back in, everybody. Just moments away from getting this second half underway. Just talked with head coach Bernie Nowatarski, myself and Nichols alongside Mike Garland. And Mike, we're just looking for some offense in this second half.
Well, right now we're just looking for the game to kick off, and then after that, offense. This halftime's been about 30 minutes. You get a good 30-minute halftime for the Super Bowl, and there it's a blockbuster concert. But when the Stampede offense finally makes its way back onto the field, because remember, Columbus is receiving the second half kickoff, but when this offense comes back on the field, Coach Nowatarski said it himself, he needs a little more protection for his quarterback back there. It's one thing that he can take care of himself, but he shouldn't have to play after play.
Right. We're just looking to not have to scramble as much, not, just get nailed. I mean, we even saw it after he threw the touchdown to Patrick Gorman, celebrating with his own offensive lineman. He's getting put in the turf inadvertently and somewhat softly, but still going down. Never usually feels too good. Panuccio is out there for the Stampede, and the kick is away. Oh, just a line drive that is caught. And the Lions are going to have incredible field position. It was just picked out of the air by Droll Green.
Droll Green snagged it. It was a hot potato, and he grabbed that one on a liner. Panuccio was trying for a squib. It's just not been a good night for Joe Panuccio from a kicking standpoint. Coach already basically said they're going for two for any scores thereafter, and Panuccio's family's here tonight, his wife, the kids. You always want to have a good showing when you've got friends and family in the audience.
Right. But now the Columbus Lions starting with the ball up 21-12 in a prime position to put some more points on the board. 1st and 10. Brooks under center. The snap. Looking for the end zone. Incomplete. Seems like a miscommunication between quarterback and receiver. The intended target, Demisio Ewing.
Ewing went one way, the ball went the other, and the closest person to the football was Howard Holton, and he nearly projected himself over the dasher boards on the far side of the field.
I was down there waiting for Coach Bernie to talk to him. I was kind of looking at the pads there. They're thinner than I thought. They're pads, but don't get me wrong, they're padding, but thin.
Thinner than I thought. Something no one has ever said about me.
Yeah, set that one up. You're welcome. Little alley-oop, don't call that. There's the snap. Brooks under pressure immediately and brought down from behind. Number 12, Devin Thomas on the sack.
Devin Thomas, the son of former NFL player Adalius Thomas. Devin out of Southern Miss. That's where Brett Favre went to college. And, of course, Favre did his thing on the offensive side of the football for the Eagles. And Thomas this time around for the Harrisburg Stampede comes in off the right side to the quarterback's left and gets him around the waist and takes him down for what I suspect to be one of the first clean sacks of the night of Marcus Brooks. There's been a couple plays that you could log as sacks, but it's Brooks getting stepped on, it's Brooks falling down, it's an errant snap. That's a solid sack right there from Thomas.
And nothing fancy on the move from Devin Thomas. Just swiped the hands down from Ken Washington, the offensive lineman, and worked right around him for the sack. 3rd and long. Brooks dropping back, looking short. Has a man. Made him miss, but is ruled out of bounds on the boundary. So still 4th and about 8 yards to go.
Yeah, the catch was made, but then the receiver was pushed into the boards, and that constitutes out of bounds. And Roman Delatash kept going and didn't think he was down, but the officials begged to differ.
Fourth down. Got to imagine they're going for it here. It'll be 4th and 8. Inside the 20. Ewing will get the running start. The snap. Brooks dropping back. Looking for Ewing, and that is just airmailed out of the back of the end zone. A great stand by the Stampede defense.
The defense holds and the offense out for the first time. And Coach Nowotarski said that center Casey Pierce had been cleared, but he is not the center of record to start the second half. It will again be Aaron Brown, who started this game at tight end. So cleared and able to go clearly are two different things.
Brown, he did have some solid snaps in the few that he had to do before going into halftime, so just hoping that will remain the case here in the third quarter. But we can credit that defensive stop really to the sack from Devin Thomas, just putting them further back and just forcing them to play the long down and distance. Hurd looking left, completion, but then tackled immediately. Todd Simmons on the reception.
Nice job of Todd Simmons with the catch. And then the very quick tackle. Looks like Benjamin Stanley was in the area. Everybody wants a Stanley these days, and Columbus has one of their own as he picks up that tackle for no gain.
I don't get the whole water bottle thing.
I don't either. I drink out of the same little plastic Nalgene bottle I got like 10 years ago.
I got one of the Yeti cups for my coffee probably 7 years ago. It's perfectly fine.
All I ever drink out of my Nalgene bottle is water. That's it.
I mean, yeah, you don't need a new one for that. So,
no.
Yeah. Anyway, second down. The snap. Rolling right, throwing right, incomplete right. Intended target was Gorman.
All those rights, and it was so wrong.
Just crushing it here in this second half.
Trying. I'm trying.
Oh, I love it.
Or maybe I'm trying too hard. I'm not sure which.
No, I think it's perfectly right down the middle. You're shooting straight here. Gorman, the intended target. And that's kind of that's the risk when you have those, you're rolling out immediately as you get it. All that momentum carrying him to his right led Gorman to his right, but Gorman was just standing still. He was stationary. Usually you think you want to try to move with him, but results in a 3rd and 10. Hurd dropping back under immediate pressure. It's going to be a face mask. Most likely will be some kind of positive yardage. Pass is incomplete, and honestly, a smart decision by Hurd there. He knew he got the penalty. Just get the ball away and take the free yards.
DeAndre Brown claiming that, no, I did not grab the face mask. The official, however, threw the flag at DeAndre Brown, like literally at DeAndre Brown.
It would be hard to dispute that, especially after, let's check out the replay here.
Yeah, he came in unabated, unscathed, and yeah, when the head and neck turn in that general vicinity, you didn't just grab the shoulder pad.
No. Isaac Hurd's entire body was facing kind of the far left of the stadium here, but his head was turned to us. Feel like that's an obvious face mask there. So, fresh set of downs after the penalty on 3rd and long. A back-breaking penalty for the Lions. The Stampede looking to capitalize. Deep ball out of bounds. Incomplete.
That pass was simply overthrown. It was thrown into double coverage, but Marcus Taylor was there in the corner of the end zone, although it's a bit arched. I'm not sure an arch has a corner on the perimeter of the end zone.
Sounds right.
The side. I'm going to check with Josh Holly and find out what you call like the arced side of a line.
Could be the wing. You know, you got the 3-point line of basketball.
Yeah.
It'd be the wing.
Maybe.
The wing of the end zone.
I don't want to overthink it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I get one of those headaches you talked about earlier from WebMD.
Just don't go in WebMD.
No.
Just try to ignore it. All in all, an overthrown pass on 1st down. Trying to take a shot after the penalty, though, so I don't hate that call there. 2nd and long. A toss out to the right, trying to get Taylor in open space. He picks up about 4 yards.
I guess that counts as a completed pass. He shoveled it forward. And Marcus Taylor advanced it past the line of scrimmage, so
I don't hate the idea there. I kind of see you're trying to get Taylor, you're trying to get your playmakers into open space, because really there's been maybe 5 total yards, 6 total yards of run after the catch, yards after the catch as well. So just trying to get them in open space, make a man or 2 miss, and try to pick up a first down.
trailing by 9, the Stampede need points on this possession.
3rd down. All 3 wide receivers left. Hurd going to take it up the middle, fighting. Oh, evading a few different tackles, putting the spin cycle on the defenders, and he is tackled right at the goal line.
Dude was hitting the L1 and R1 buttons, spinning left and right on that one. And you know what? If all else fails, do it yourself.
A gutsy call. Let's see it again, Hurd. The fake pass right up the middle. Look at the spin, and then the spin again. I think he more so got hit into that second spin and just kind of let his momentum take him that way.
Momentum, inertia. My fancy word of the day.
I remember inertia. I took a honors physics class in high school, and we talked about inertia a lot.
I promise your honors physics in high school was way more recent than my anything in high school.
1st and goal, looking to punch it in. And we'll have to try it again on 2nd and goal. That run goes just about nowhere.
That's Andrew Schroeder coming out of the backfield. And Luke, that's a down and distance situation where usually you'd have Aaron Brown in the backfield and you'd give it to your big bruising tight end. But Brown now serving as center as the official stops the play for an injured Columbus Lion. Looks like Tremel Gooden. Check that. It's DeCoven Ware.
And he was shaken up earlier on the touchdown run, or one of the runs from Isaac Hurd along the sideline, and he kind of went crashing into the boards and was slow to get up.
There's not much under this carpet. The carpet's got a little padding to it, but it's plywood and then dirt.
Yeah, not very forgiving. Not very forgiving in the least. 2nd and goal. Looks like they're at the 2-yard line. Already have a defensive stop here in the second half, looking for the first points of the second half. 2 men in motion. Hurd will take it himself again, and he'll score himself yet again. The 2nd rushing touchdown tonight for Isaac Hurd.
Made it look easy like Sunday morning, Luke. He walked into the end zone, and really the back half of that drive was all Isaac Hurd. He had the 2 men in motion, but he took the shotgun snap. That was a designed run, and he basically walked into the end zone, greeted by Andrew Schroeder, and the offense will stay on the field because breaking news, Coach Bernie Nowatarski told you at halftime, we're going for 2.
They're 0 for 2 on extra point attempts, looking to be 1 for 1 on 2-point conversion attempts.
The problem becomes you miss a conversion, you go for 2, you miss it, you're chasing those points all night, and that's right where the Stampede are at this point.
With Hurd practically waltzing in on the touchdown from the 2-yard line, are they bold enough to go right back to it?
Why not run the same play?
It's a quick toss out to the left, toss pass of sorts, a scrum on that far side. And it looks like they stonewall him at the goal line.
Interesting play call to go to the far side. The near side was wide open. And now the Stampede are down by 3. They've been unable to convert any conversions tonight. Take a look at the replay one more time. A little bit of a low snap, that same shovel pass that we saw earlier in the series. And just no real estate on that far side of the field as the Stampede fall just about 1 yard short of the goal line and now trail 21-18.
And it's interesting that you said he had plenty of space on that, near side, the short side, because number 84, Andrew Schroeder, who's, the tight end receiver that's playing more of a running back role here, he leaked out as somewhat of a bubble screen option with a blocker in front of him. And the blocker had his man, pretty much pinned cleanly. He could have just took it right to the outside and walked right in, but it felt like that was just a clear distraction and never really an option to go to. It was almost always going to be just get it out to, I believe, Todd Simmons on that far side.
Well, down by 3, it becomes a matter of whether or not Coach Nowatarski has faith in his kicker, Joe Panuccio, tonight, because one kick can tie it up. But if you've abandoned the kicking game but for kickoffs, then you're chasing those points all night.
It's a tough game chasing the points. Already a good defensive showing on the first defensive possession of the second half. Looking for another. Hits off the barrier, picked up by Ewing. Ewing looking for some blockers. Doesn't have much. And is brought down right past the 10-yard line.
Columbus flat out got away with a hold. Michael Swan was basically dancing with Jerome Willie to the point that Willie couldn't break free. He turned left, he turned right, and Swan did not let go. The officials didn't throw the flag, and then Swan taunted him back to the bench by waving goodbye. That, my friend, is how fights start.
I paused for a second as Ewing was back there trying to decide where to go because I thought they were going to get the hold, but like you said, I mean, it doesn't go down as a hold. It's going to go down as a good block by. Quick pass over to Ewing. Ewing makes one man miss but can't make the second. A good tackle by number 23, Jerome Willie.
And now some chirping between Willie, who is just got held on the last play, and Columbus. And now we have Howard Holton going down, maybe a cramp as he lays prone at about the 16-yard line. The training staff come out to tend to him.
And he seemed okay. It was kind of a slow.
That is a cramp.
Yeah, yep.
That is absolutely a cramp.
100%.
And I can tell you as someone that's overweight, out of shape, and middle-aged, those cramps, they hurt. They spring up on you when you least expect it. And this guy's an athlete, likely in his 20s. Think about what happens in the middle of the night when you're just sound asleep and all of a sudden you get a calf cramp and you have to spring out of bed. It's terrifying.
It's pretty much waking up in a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, you kick the cat goes meow across the room, and you're trying to just step it out. I need 3 trainers to come running in my bedroom next time I get a cramp in the middle of the night.
Look at him. He's right back up, walking it off.
He's a gamer.
I think he's just going to – I thought he was going to try to stay on the field,
no, I think that's pretty much universal. If the game stops because of you, you have to leave for a play.
I'd imagine he'll be back in momentarily, but that is a textbook cramp. Just kind of slowly went down and immediately getting stretched out.
Yeah, I'm no medical expert. We've discussed this earlier, but I know what a cramp looks like.
All right. We've all seen him. We've all felt him. Back to play here. 1st and 10. Brooks. Pump fakes. Looks deep. No one's there. Miscommunication.
Stuck the landing right in front of the public address announcer. I don't think he gets to keep the ball.
No, he does not. He already threw it back in.
Yeah.
He did show off a bit, though, before ruling it incomplete, so you got to give him credit there. He just traps it right on top of the border.
You give a person a microphone, they're going to become a shameless self-promoter.
Oh, yeah, right in front of him. Look at that.
Perfect. Been a lot more action on the far side of the field tonight than there had in the previous 2 games. Most of the first 2 games, it was all about the fans on this side, whether they caught a player or caught a ball or didn't catch a ball. But everyone said one girl 2 games ago, there was a player fall over and she held onto her beverage all the way down, stuck the landing, drink in hand.
That is always impressive.
Retire her cup.
2nd and 10. Brooks dropping back. Brooks looking over the middle. Has a man. And Ewing is going to walk into the end zone. He was wide open. The only chance was Jerome Willie. Just a leaping attempt to knock it down. And it's another touchdown for the Columbus Lions.
Ultimately, though, Luke, it's been a while since Columbus has scored. And maybe I only say that because it's been some 45 minutes since the second quarter ended. But they scored with around 1 minute to go in the fourth quarter. And then the Harrisburg defense had been holding as we head towards the end of the fourth quarter, or third quarter, excuse me. You see the replay there. He was wide open in the seam and short of falling down, his path to the end zone was paved.
And I don't know if this throw was by design, but Marcus Brooks, if he leads Ewing there, probably has a better chance and probably does get deflected of some sorts by Willie. So just a good job putting it on his back hip, although making Ewing have to turn for it, still making the catch and sleepwalking in for 6 as the extra point is up and through. It is now a 10-point lead for the Lions over the Stampede.
The offense comes back out on the field, but you need quick strike scores. You can't afford to take all the time in the world to go down the field, because even though we joke, it's true. The last minute of the game may take forever, but most of the rest of the game goes by pretty fast.
We'll step away for a moment and rejoin you once the kickoff is underway.
Springtime is the right time to go big time at Faulkner Honda in Harrisburg. Get big time selection. Choose from rows and rows of new 2024 Pilots, Accords, Passports, and more. Get big time savings. Drive a new Civic, just $299 a month. Choose from a great selection of Honda CRVs from just $379 a month. It's springtime, so go big time at Faulkner Honda in Harrisburg. Get started at faulknerhonda.com.
At Belco, we want to help simplify your life. Belco's checking accounts are easy to use, and most accounts have no minimum balance requirements or monthly service charges. No matter what bells are ringing, you can rely on checking with Belco. Because we believe in every person, every dream, every time. Join today at belco.org or any local branch. Belco Community Credit Union. Believe in better banking.
Welcome back in. Kickoff just about to be sent to the other end. Oh, catches it right before it goes out of bounds. Has a chance to return here. Working towards that far side. And then gets corralled right at the 20-yard line.
He was tackled, then there was an aggressive hug right at the end of the play. Ultimately, a wise decision to bring it out. You let it go. It's a touchback. You bring it out. You get the ball where you get the ball, which is the 21-yard line. And it's a good start for Harrisburg here in the third quarter.
Let's see it again. So he just high points it just before it goes into his team's back of the end zone. And there's that aggressive hug you were talking about. Just making sure Taylor doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
That's all it is.
Stay right here.
So like you said, they gotta, move quickly here because these quarters do fly by. And once we get to that, minute in the fourth, then it'll start to slow up. But need to see that passing game come alive here. It really has been a struggle to find consistent completions. Receivers in motion. Low snap, under pressure immediately, and that is closer to us than any receiver on the field. Ooh, we may get a roughing the passer here.
I think you're going to, because you had Desmond Scott pressuring Isaac Hurd, and he pushed him a little far back, at least farther back than the officials would like.
It is unsportsmanlike conduct.
They actually call unsportsmanlike conduct, not roughing the passer.
You didn't see it much there, but you could see it was number 74, Desmond Scott, get in the face of Isaac Hurd, so you can only assume that continued for much too long after the whistle.
Now the walk-off is substantial, 10 yards, but still you go from the 21 to the 19.
Another break for the Stampede. Last time it was the face mask, now Hurd looking to his right. Oh, he had a man wide open and just overshot him. Todd Simmons had nobody within 5 yards of them. Could have front flipped into the end zone.
You see Hurd takes the snap, some pressure from the backside. He's saying his arm got hit just a little bit. I saw him looking at one of the coaches on the near side and tapping his right elbow. And now that I see the replay, that's what he's claiming, is that the arm got hit, and that's what changed the trajectory of the pass. Regardless, it's incomplete.
Should be the last play of this third quarter. Hurd takes the fumbled snap, makes a man miss at the 5, makes another miss, and he's into the end zone. Isaac Hurd, what a run. No flags on the play.
Wow. A dribbler of a snap from Aaron Brown back to Isaac Hurd, and we'll take a look at it again in just a moment as the offense stays on the field. They're trying to make it a 2-point ball game if they can convert this 2-point conversion.
Wow.
And a nice job in the open field by Hurd as well, evading tacklers, breaking free of tackles. And I think at this point, Luke, you could say that Coach Notarski has given up on the kicking game, because now, you kick the extra point here and you make it, you're down by 3. You go for 2 and you don't get it. Now you're down, it's a 2-score game.
Hurd gonna keep it himself right up the gut. And it's a 2-point game, powering his way into the end zone yet again.
That's an alternate option that I didn't work into the summary there. But now you make it, you're down by 2 at the end of the third quarter. And it's a whole new ball game headed to quarter 4.
28-26. The Lions still with a 2-point lead, but the Stampede have work to do when we come back. Welcome back in here. Just a few moments away from getting this fourth quarter underway. Myself, Luke Nichols, with Mike Garland to my left. Let's take another look at this touchdown from Isaac Hurd.
Crazy. The slow bounce, the little roller pops back up. He makes one guy miss, breaks through another tackle, and then waltzes into the end zone. Be hype and be pumped. And the good thing for him there, Luke, is he celebrated with his teammates. He scored right in front of the Columbus bench, but he celebrated with his teammates instead.
Always like seeing that, getting the entire team in there. Good camaraderie, just, it's good to see all the guys getting together.
Absolutely.
But that second tackle that he broke, I mean, it looked like his legs were completely wrapped up. It looks like whoever it was had both his arms wrapped around his legs, and he still just jumps right out of it and takes it in.
He hustled right through, and you see Isaac again with his teammates and come back to the field. We're getting ready to kick off. There's some on-field promotion still going on. You come out to a Stampede game, there's usually a lot of local businesses in the rotunda that you'll walk past coming in, and this is a local softball team that was raffling off various prizes. So some people bought into these fundraisers and gave some money in exchange for raffle tickets. It's like the lottery. You can't win if you don't play. But since I usually don't win, I also then don't play.
I usually only start to play whenever it hits one of those. Oh, it's one of the highest it's ever been, and I feel like we've had about 8 of those in the last 2 years. Kick is away. Ooh, muffed for a second by Ewing. He still can't pick it up. Trying to make something out of nothing, but he is brought down. Oh, and the ball comes out. Who falls on it? I think Ewing fell on it again. And yes, the Lions do keep it, but wow, a near disaster for the Columbus Lions.
Andrew Schroeder ultimately made the tackle, and he was trying to fight for that loose ball. And a nice job, a nice tenacity by the Harrisburg kick coverage team. You can see a little trouble picking the ball up. The tackler's getting spun around. Josh Holly's in the area. Ball gets ripped out. It might have been Anelio Pena that ripped it out.
I believe it was number 3, Ben Smiley, for the Lions to fall on it. There were a ton of blue jerseys right around there, so a lucky break for the Columbus Lions, but you can feel that the momentum is starting to shift.
Harrisburg looking to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, especially after only scoring 19 last week and giving up 73.
Brooks looking deep, throwing incomplete, but a flag.
Pass interference is going to be the call.
They're going to get Howard Holton on the pass interference, just too aggressive when trying to stay with Ewing.
So Harrisburg had benefited from that tough return. And you'll see again on the replay. Ooh, nice quarterback pressure, but you can clearly see the pass interference, the hold, if you will, on the Stampede.
And almost lucky that Brooks got that away. You saw big number 99, Yuka Onya, just going right at him, about to swallow him up. And Onya's 5'11", 300 pounds. Brooks back under center. It's 1st and 10 because of the pass interference. Dropping back under pressure, ball is thrown out of bounds and caught by a fan.
Solid catch by the fan. That's what you want to see. And some celebration and jubilation by Devin Thomas. A big hit. And you're right, the momentum has begun to swing back Harrisburg's way. Nice bunch formation at the line, but the pressure was right there. They hit, the ball comes out. And just like that, it's 2nd down and 10.
Devin Thomas, again, just flying off the edge. He went out of frame, comes right back in frame, just boom. Puts a nasty hit on Brooks, and Brooks, again, lucky to get that one away.
There's 30 frames per second. He's that fast.
Second and 10. Brooks dropping back, looking over the middle. Pass is caught, and then is brought down at the 20-yard line, complete to Tremel Gooden.
Columbus getting out of the shadows of their own end zone with that completion, and now into plus territory at the Stampede 19-yard line. So just when you thought the momentum may have been swinging back Harrisburg's way, Columbus gets that big completion and tries to change the narrative.
That completion has to feel good for Brooks. Not just Brooks, but the Lions head coach Damian Daniels as well. Back-to-back incompletions because of the pressure, even though one of them was a defensive pass interference, but great pressure from the Stampede. So for the Lions, it's good to get a completion there, but let's get some more pressure from that defensive line here. Brooks looking deep, has a man wide open for 6. Just an easy pitch and catch. It was Tremel Gooden, ran right past the defense. It must have been a blown assignment or something. He was open as soon as he crossed the line of scrimmage.
Well, he also was 4 yards into the secondary before the ball was snapped. I'm going to have to learn more about this rule, but clearly it's okay to be that far past the line.
I believe it was number 27, Jeremy Lewis there, who I just thought he wasn't supposed to stay with Gooden there, and once he realized that he was supposed to stay with Gooden, it was far, far too late. So, the extra point attempt to make it a 9-point lead is good.
Good to see the officials right under the uprights didn't signal anything.
That's what I was looking at there, and they just didn't really
good.
confer with one another. I guess they just assumed. So, 35-26, the Stampede needing another touchdown to keep up with this Columbus offense. And it is, the defense for the Stampede, for the most part, has been good, has been above average tonight, especially in the first half. That second quarter, they played very well. Right there, just having a blown coverage, that just hurts.
It certainly does, and you had a little momentum and you lost it. You give up the points. Now you got to try all over again. Still plenty of time left. The clock stops after the score, but it's going to start winding again and not stop for a little while thereafter.
10:58 left in the ball game. The running clock now to the disadvantage of the Stampede.
The teams will switch sides. They're only switching sides because they lined up in the wrong spot in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Only explanation, they should have switched at the beginning. But anyway, for the offense, for the Stampede, Isaac Hurd, the completions still are, far and few and far between. Doesn't really matter. There's been very few completions so far from Hurd. But his scrambling ability and just him with the ball in his hands, that may be the recipe for how the Stampede pull out a win here.
Down by 9. It's a 2-score game.
I was wondering if that was going to happen tonight, and it does. The kickoff hits the ceiling. That should just result in a touchback. Yeah.
Yes. And that's the thing, too, about the league. You can have rules, but then you have to factor in facility and ground rules, which will vary by location.
Yes.
If these games were played in the larger arena, there'd be no chance anyone's kicking it into the ceiling, but instead, it's a smaller barn with a little bit of a lower roof.
But it is good that they have that, hits the roof, it's a touchback. That's just an easy rule. Clear cut, right back into the action here. Stampede, 3 wide receivers to the right. Low snap, Hurd looking deep. Hurd running to his right, throwing right, incomplete. Spikes off the turf.
I hope that adult knew that child he just stole the ball from.
I hope the same.
And he just gave it to a different child.
Yeah. I don't think he knew the... No, yeah, I don't think he did.
Maybe they're all friends.
Yeah, that's what we can hope for here. 2nd and 10 for the Stampede. They have their 3 timeouts. You have to imagine they're just holding on to them until the 1-minute warning. Don't want to have to burn one too early. Hurd looking right. Incomplete. Whoa. That has to be something.
There's a flag.
A flag flies from the backline judge, but the official that was right in front of the action didn't see the issue, I guess.
The pass was clearly incomplete. I saw it short hop from here. Now the receiver's going to sell it and try to convince the official that, no, I caught it. But regardless, he was laying on the ground. There was no reason for Tommy Neely to pick him up and fling him to the ground. But they're calling a flag against the Harrisburg Stampede. Okay, unsportsmanlike, offsetting, yada, yada. Never happened.
So where do we get? Let's just look at it again just to be sure. So like you said, clearly looks incomplete. He tries to sell it and then gets thrown to the ground.
What did the Harrisburg guy do wrong? Unless he's getting flagged for throwing the ball back at the defender's face.
That has to be what it was, but that doesn't feel like enough to, warrant an offsetting penalty. But
I mean, he spun him like a top.
yeah, clearly after the whistle was blown, I thought that was going to be a clear on sportsmanlike on the defense. Regardless, 3rd and 10. Hurd dropping back. Hurd looking deep, throwing deep, and it is incomplete. Over the head of the intended target, Patrick Gorman, and there is a penalty marker in the backfield yet again.
And call's going to go against Columbus, so it might give Harrisburg a fresh set of downs. It's another face mask penalty on the defense. Chains are going to move. 1st down and 10 for the Stampede. A nice job hustling into the corner of the end zone by Patrick Gorman. He was running at full speed, but at some point you have to have in the back of your mind, there is a wall there. And the wall is of a height that if I crash into it, I'm going to fly over it.
Yes.
It's not like the center field wall at Wrigley Field, which still in 2024 is made of brick.
I still can't believe that the Astros used to have a hill in center field.
They didn't just have a hill, man. They had a flagpole.
I forgot they had the pole.
Hit the pole on the hill.
Wow, that is wildly dangerous.
Only if you hit the pole.
That is fair. Fresh set of downs. Hurd dropping back. Looking. Throwing over the middle. It is tipped and it is intercepted. Tiptoeing along the barriers. And some more extracurriculars, and we're going to have a whole scuffle here.
Oh, because the bench is emptying is what we need.
Yep. Players putting on helmets. Here comes big number 99, Yuka Onya.
Oh, and you get some kids down here puffing up. That's a smart way to go about things. Let's just involve ourselves here. Yeah, I don't know where security is, but they need to have a conversation with some of those kids that wanted to get over there and puff up and get right in the center of the action.
Not ideal in any sense of the matter.
Maybe friends and family because you got the guy from Columbus, looking over here and talking too, but this doesn't need to happen. This game's gotten a little physical here in the 4th quarter, and it's just going to get chippy.
This may take a few moments to really get settled here.
You can sort it out with the guys on the field, but at the end of the day, I don't see a ton of security around here, but those folks need to just walk away.
Right.
And if they can't walk away, they need to be walked away.
Some more boos being let out here. All in all, the interception is credited to Droll Green.
Some frustrations there at the end. The pass to the far side. It's tipped. He intercepts it, brings it up the near side. A good run. And a big hit there at the wall. It was Justice Smith that made contact. And then things started to get a little bit chippy. And you can see right there, the kid in the brown shirt literally runs in and involves himself in the action. There's really no excuse for that. I still don't see any security in the area, but
no, me neither.
The official's still sorting it out.
So all in all, it's only going to result in one real penalty. I don't believe anybody is being ejected or any other unsportsmanlike penalties being handed out.
You can tolerate the extracurriculars from the players. When the fans start to involve themselves, that's inexcusable.
Yes, that is the issue here. But looking to move past this.
Get back to action.
Yeah.
If there was ever an excuse for a running clock, right now is the time to do it. Just spot the ball and start the clock, and let's get. The longer this takes, I think, the more you risk something reigniting.
I agree. It still doesn't feel like it is fully contained and everybody's okay. It still feels like some kind of animosity and chippiness. I mean, the chippiness has been in the air on the field the entire time, but I do agree. We got to have some kind of a security presence just to.
I literally see no one.
No, nothing has. It's just played out kind of the entire time.
So Columbus will have the ball first down and 10 from their own 17-yard line after the penalty.
So it was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Columbus. So it does hurt their field position, but nobody is ejected. There's no warnings. I mean, I assume there's some kind of
I think the warning is happening right now.
Okay, there we go.
Josh Holly was first into that conversation. He's one of the captains for the team. So I think the officiating crew is having that conversation and saying, okay, guys, no more of this. Let's calm down. Let's get out of here and have ourselves a happy little weekend.
Are we getting back to the action?
Yes.
It seems so. Okay.
The clock is running anyway.
There we go. Bit of a delay. We're right back at it. Brooks, quick pass, tipped and nearly intercepted. Wow, after all of that, if Brooks just gave the ball right back, that would have been absurd.
Another tipped pass near the line of scrimmage.
Let's see it again. So Brooks just lets out. I don't think it was tipped. I think he just airmailed it.
Howard Holton was in the area for the Harrisburg Stampede. And it's interesting to see Marcus Brooks has been working under center more often than not here in the second half.
Especially after when he had the first offensive drive of the game where he had the fumbled snap and then later in the game tripped over his running back. Looking to throw now, going deep, incomplete. It was intended for number 11, Michael Swan. And we have a Stampede defender down on the play.
That's Jeremy Lewis for the Harrisburg Stampede. He went hard into the boards and slow to get up.
Like you said, that is the concern. Lewis was just full speed ahead trying to get into that play and deflect the pass or something. He just went crashing into that padding.
So the training staff making their way towards the near side corner. And he went down and he bent himself in a way that the body is not intended to bend, even for the best of yoga participants. He hit hard in that corner, and there's padding there, but behind that padding, at least probably in that area, is the equivalent of hockey boards. Yes. This is a repurposed hockey walling system. They also use it for the Harrisburg Heat indoor soccer, but they put the pads over it, obviously, for football to offer an added layer of protection. And all he can say in this scenario is, my back hurts. And they're going to tend to him, and they're going to hopefully get him off the field here under his own power. But, I mean, I don't know if you've ever been bent backwards, but it doesn't feel well.
Yeah, he's going to take a moment here, really collect himself. The hope here is that he just went crashing into the board so hard, and the way that he bent, it was awkward, so it hurt, and that seems like what it was. He just needed a few extra minutes to collect his bearings and then be like, okay, I'm okay. Let me walk off, get a breather, get a quick drink of water, and he seems to be okay.
You mentioned in the first half, getting depleted in JV football, and you have those moments. You suffer a hard hit, a big blow, and you're okay or you're okay-ish. You just need a minute to figure yourself out.
Yes.
Sort of like a system reboot. You gotta wait for the operating system to fully power up, and then once okay, all the ones and zeros are where they need to be, you're gonna head to the bench.
There's an unexpected crash, and then you just gotta wait for it to pop back up to that blue screen. I do remember the first time I got the wind knocked out of me, I thought I was dying. So I really had to collect myself there. It probably took about 5 minutes before I got up. Third and 10 for the Columbus Lions. They've had success on third downs for the most part today. Brooks dropping back, looking deep, has a man open, and he just drops it right in the bucket for another touchdown. Tremel Gooden, the target.
And Columbus now pulling away from Harrisburg here with 6:37 remaining in the fourth quarter. Look at it one more time. Brooks arcs it near side corner. And Tremel Gooden falls into the end zone. And Buff Daddy there with the tank top cheers him on.
That man is absolutely shredded. Listen, I don't know what he's up to right now, but if the Stampede need a linebacker, just throw that man some pads.
I mean, what do they say? The camera adds 20 pounds. For me, it's fat. For that guy, muscle. And the extra point forthcoming from Ryson Richardson.
Has been fairly automatic tonight as the jinx does not work, and he puts in another one. 42-26, Mike, like you said, the Lions starting to pull away here for a moment early in the fourth quarter. It was after the Stampede scored, had to kick off where Ewing muffed it and then fumbled it. It felt like the game was turning in favor of the Stampede. Since the interception and the whole chippiness and scuffle of it all, kind of did a 180 here.
Still plenty of time left. 5:53 in the fourth quarter, plus that clock will stop under a minute to go after every incompletion. But for the Stampede, they absolutely need points on this possession. If Columbus is able to stop the Stampede and score again, you'll see this place empty out real fast.
So A.J. Beach back there as the return man again, along with Marcus Taylor. A.J. Beach had some solid returns in the first half. No better time than right now for a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Got to make something happen, get the crowd on their feet, put a little excitement back into the barn.
Line drive kick. Off a hop, off a second hop, a third. Taylor picks it up, trying to get out of his own end zone, and he will, but only for 1 yard.
Yeah, we talked about having a positive return. That was not it.
No.
The ball took an awkward bounce. I think he was trying to legitimately play it on a bounce, and it took an awkward bounce, bounced again, and by then everyone's converged. So starting the ball on your own 2-yard line, this 50-yard war on the floor, puts the Stampede 48 yards away from scoring.
All it takes is one deep ball and one blown coverage. The Lions got one a few possessions ago. I don't see why the Stampede can't get one here. Or just a 48-yard rushing touchdown by Isaac Hurd.
Well, he's been doing it all tonight for the Stampede.
42-26. 5:37 and ticking. Hurd in his own end zone. Offsides, hopefully.
That helps. That's +5.
Some breathing room. They do get the offsides penalty. I believe that's the third or fourth offsides penalty called on the Lions tonight.
So following the penalty, it'll be 1st down and 5. Right now the Stampede can take the yards any way they can get them.
Hurd takes the low snap off a bounce. Still looking deep. Has a man open and just a complete misfire. He had Todd Simmons open for a couple of seconds there. Had him open plenty of time and just could not hit him.
Aaron Brown's been playing center for the entire second half following an injury at the end of the first half to Casey Pierce. Pierce on the bench without pads on at this point, so even though coach said he was cleared, he is not coming back into this one, and that's the first errant snap we've seen from Aaron Brown. Errant, not Aaron, although both applicable in the same sentence.
Hopefully it doesn't become a nickname. Hurd dropping back, looking right, has a man. Does he make the catch between his legs? It looks like he does. Good for a first down. A very contested catch from Todd Simmons. Let's take another look. I thought I saw him trap it between his legs.
A circus catch of sorts on the far side. Did catch it between his legs. Like a chicken laying an egg.
As long as it doesn't touch the ground, it's ruled a catch. Doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you catch it. Fresh set of downs. Low snap again. Hurd rolling out to his left. Airing it out deep towards the end zone. Taylor makes the catch. What a bomb from Isaac Hurd. And the ball tracking skills of Marcus Taylor get the Stampede right back in it.
That was beautiful, and that brought the crowd to its feet. That's exactly what this Stampede offense needed. 48 yards was the drive distance. Capped off by the Marcus Taylor touchdown catch. Hurd falling away, back foot, drops it in, and Taylor in the back of the end zone, just in front of Benjamin Stanley. 6 points, and the Stampede going for 2.
Rolling left, airing it out to his right. Hurd, the fake throw, trying to punch it in himself again, and he will. Tough to deny Isaac Hurd anytime he has the ball in his hands. Even tougher when he's already at the 2-yard line. 42-34, an 8-point game yet again.
So it is a one-score game. The Stampede with all 3 timeouts, and I would suspect they'll try to use them here before the 1-minute warning, because if Columbus does this right, they can work the clock. Get a couple of plays, you have a 40-second play clock, you run a few, you get it down to 1 minute, then you just try to run it out.
Right.
So the Stampede essentially have 4 timeouts. They have 3 in their pocket, plus the 1-minute warning.
Looking for some kind of a quick defensive stop. A turnover would be perfect right now. But again, just what a throw from Isaac Hurd. I thought he was going to toss it to Patrick Gorman. Gorman was open for about a 10 to 15-yard gain. He said, no, I'm going for the gold here. And just threw a bomb to Marcus Taylor for 6.
That was probably one of the prettiest passes we've seen Isaac Hurd throw all season. And it's crazy, Luke, to think that it's an 8-point game. It has not been the prettiest competition by the Harrisburg Stampede. You see that touchdown pass one more time. Hurd scrambling, throwing off the back foot, completed for the touchdown. But again, they just gave up 73 points to this Columbus team last week, falling 73-19 in Georgia. What a difference a week makes.
Now it feels like an extended meeting with head coach Bernie Nowatarski.
You have to wonder if they're talking about onside kick. The hands team for Columbus is up. So do we see an onside kick? Do we see a squib kick? I believe the last time Joe Panuccio kicked it, it was a low liner snagged on the fly by the second row return man.
Maybe try to pick out somebody on that front line and kick it right at him. Hope for a deflection. Let's see. Panucci, nope, he's going to send it deep. He's going to take a bounce, hit off the barrier, picked up by Ewing. Ewing, a lot of blue jerseys in front of him. He's taken down right around the 6-yard line, but an injured Stampede player down at the 5.
Injured and holding a left arm or left wrist. And that is Schrader. Andrew Schrader holding the arm. Now, we did see him squeezing the hand, so there's functionality to it. That doesn't mean it didn't hurt where he got hit.
He's still trying to stretch it out here.
So as the clock stopped, it's an opportunity for Coach Nowatarski and his defensive crew to come up with some plan. And Schrader hops up and runs off the field. I've always, in the life of watching football, it was always a head scratcher to me. You're down, you're hurt, you need the trainers, the game has to stop for you, and then you just pop up and run off the field.
No, I think that may have been one of those stingers where you get hit right on the funny bone of the elbow, because he was holding that kind of left arm area, but he kept clenching and making a fist, kind of saying, hey, I can make a fist, so I'm good here. It probably just hurt real bad where he thought that he did something much worse.
Yeah, the humorous is not all that funny when there's actual contact to it.
No, it is not.
It's going to be a time change, I believe. They're putting some time on the clock.
They're saying 2:30.
2:34, possibly?
It looks like. It's tough to communicate when it's just throwing up numbers and trends. Oh, 2:52.
That's a lot of time. Maybe he means 2:42? We'll see. It's either sign language or like charades.
And now we're back to 2:32.
Whatever.
Okay.
I mean, we saw at the end of the first half, 0.1 seconds. Literally every second matters.
That is true. The Lions back on offense. Brooks looking to his left. Completion. First down and a few extra yards.
Get a couple of those first downs, and again, you run the clock. You get a 40-second play clock.
Michael Swan on the reception.
And the play clock should start when the ball is set, which it does. So Columbus can run the game clock down to about 1:20 before snapping the ball. And if they're smart, that's exactly what they'll do. You run the play around 1:20, takes you down to the 1-minute warning. Then you force Harrisburg to have to take the timeouts. And I know this isn't necessarily the type of game that you're going to take knee after knee.
Right.
But you could do that if you can get Harrisburg to burn all those timeouts.
Even then, we haven't seen them run the ball too much. Maybe Brooks just tries to scramble some without putting the ball in the air. He's looking to throw here. He's looking deep to his right. It is broken up. A great play on the back end. It was number 30, Emilio Pena.
And now an injured Columbus player will stop the clock. Tremel Gooden. Could be a cramp, could be an ankle, could be a knee. It's definitely a lower extremity injury.
Yes. Gooden does have 2 touchdowns today. Nearly had his third, but Pena with a great pass breakup.
I was interested to see them go deep. I get that you want to put points on the board and put the game away, but I think more than anything else, why would you do anything that could give Harrisburg the ball back? Get the first down. When the clock starts, it's going to go down to the 1-minute warning.
I was thinking the same thing. Like I was expecting kind of a quick pass out to Ewing, or they went to, I believe, Gooden a few times as well, and Deloach, just that quick pass to the sideline. Surprised they did not go to it there.
So Gooden helped off the field. And the game clock should start momentarily unless someone called a timeout. The ball has been set.
I believe they're waiting for the official's whistle. There it is, yep.
So again, no reason for Columbus to run a play, and they're actually going to take their time to the line.
Yeah, Brooks realized it there. I don't think he realized they were going to the minute warning.
1-minute warning.
Forced him to come back.
We'll stay here and talk about it. But we know Harrisburg has all 3 timeouts, and we know that the clock will stop on incomplete passes. It's 2nd down and 10. So again, if you're Columbus, I mean, conventional football says you try to pick up the first down, but along the way you make the other team burn the timeouts. At this point, you're leading by 8 points. You don't want to do anything that gives the trailing team the football back.
No. I think what they'll most likely do is go to the quick passes. If they don't, I would be shocked. So, I mean, maybe they go to a quick pass to the sideline and then later they fake it, but we will see. We'll step away for a moment and be right back. One minute remaining. The Stampede trail by 8. They need a defensive stop just for a chance to tie the game. What will this Lions offense do? We thought they were going to be conservative even the last few plays. So really right now, I have no idea what to expect. They do have Deloach split out wide. Brooks dropping back. Looking, taking his time. Just going to throw it away, incomplete, and that's going to stop the clock.
Pass was partially tipped, so says the official. I actually thought it slipped out of Marcus Brooks' hands. Regardless, it's 3rd down and 10 with the clock stopped, and only 4.2 seconds came off the clock. So that was not what Columbus needed. And again, I'll reiterate, you do not want to give the ball back to Harrisburg. As inept as the offense has been at times, Isaac Hurd has shown signs of life to infinity on some of these plays today.
I mean, that last touchdown from him just shows why you don't want to give him the ball back. But it's a 3rd and 10. Looking for the first down. Brooks, quick pass over the middle to Ewing, who is stuck as soon as he makes the catch by Howard Holton.
Wow, big-time hit by Howard Holton. Could be a game changer as Harrisburg calls a timeout. And I know we'll take a look at this one more time. But it's going to be 4th down and about 7. And this is huge, a big sticker of a hit for Howard Holton. And I definitely question the play calling from Columbus and Damian Daniels. Opportunities earlier to run off some clock.
Yes.
And they missed those opportunities. Now, if you're not going to put you're in a really, really tough spot. You try a field goal here, you can put the game away, but if you miss, then Harrisburg's going to get the ball on their own 20-yard line, a de facto touchback, if you will.
It really feels like they should have, for the Lions, they should have flipped those plays there, where the quick pass to Ewing on 3rd down should have been the 2nd down play, and then the 2nd down play where Brooks was rolling out, looking deep, that's what they should have went to on 3rd down.
Well, and this is a really, really tough spot because if you go for it and get it, obviously that's the best case scenario. If the offense stays on the field and you don't get it, then Harrisburg gets the ball somewhere near the 25-yard line. You attempt a long field goal and you miss, it becomes a touchback, and they get the ball back around the 10 or 15.
Yes. Even then, if you make the field goal, it makes it a 2-possession game. But the offense will stay on the field. Aggressive play calling from head coach Damian Daniels. All 3 wide receivers to the left of Marcus Brooks. The snap cleanly, looking to his left, and the pass is complete to Ewing, who is knocked into the barrier by Holton, but it's good for a 1st down.
So the chains will move, the clock will stop as the ball gets set. Coach Nowatarski can hold on to the timeout for a moment. But a score from Columbus pretty much seals this one. Now that it's 1st down, Harrisburg only has 2 timeouts. Why don't you just take a knee? You snap the ball on 1st down, you take a knee, they call timeout. You snap the ball on 2nd down, you take a knee, they call timeout. Now it's 3rd down, and you just run the clock.
Yeah, that feels like the obvious move here.
Like that's what football looks like in my head.
Yes. That's what I'm expecting here.
I've seen football before. I know what it looks like.
As have I. But no, you never know. You really never know.
They don't look like they're in a knee formation right now.
It does not appear that way. Brooks under center. Will not kneel it. He's looking deep. He's throwing right. It is incomplete. Intended for Michael Swan.
And he just helped Harrisburg save a timeout. If Columbus loses this game, that's squarely on the shoulders of Damian Daniels. I do not get it.
Is there something we're missing here?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
I mean, this is... Oh, well.
I mean, throw conventional wisdom out the window. That pass was tipped near the line of scrimmage by Ryan Lopez and or Eric Washington. Our roster had two guys wearing number 62, so take your pick.
One of them 6'3", one of them 6'6". So we got
that was the 6'3" version.
There we go. So 2nd and 10 here.
Harrisburg still with 2 timeouts.
And still stop the clock if they need to. Brooks lost the ball, a muffed snap, but I think he fell right on it.
I mean, the Chili Peppers song is rolling through my head. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. 3rd down, the clock stops again.
Let's see what happens here. He just never caught it cleanly again. Took that step back without having it in his palms. And it's 3rd and 10.
Closing in on 10 o'clock. I told you the first half would go an hour.
Yeah.
The second half, a little different. What do you think of your first arena game?
It's been fun.
Yeah?
It's been fun. I mean, I'm still thinking about some of these plays from Isaac Hurd. I will not lie to you. It's just a human highlight reel.
Isaac Hurd has made it fun. If there was a video game and I could be Isaac Hurd, I'd do some stuff.
Brooks under center. Will he take the snap cleanly? Yes, he will. He's looking over the middle, lofting it over the middle, and it is broken up. Howard Holton again on the coverage. And that's going to make it 4th and 10.
Here we go. Back when Columbus could be taking knees and running out the clock. Now it's 4th down, and you need a first down. Unless you bring the field goal unit out, look at it one more time. A nice job by Holton to swat it away. Although in theory, an interception works better there. So many risks by Coach Daniels. You're throwing the ball wide.
And throwing it deep as well. Not even just something conservative and short. Dude, you're taking shots.
That sounds like a good thing to do postgame.
Not lying.
Are you even old enough?
I'm 23.
Okay.
That's what my ID says. 35 seconds left. 42-34. Brooks dropping back. Looking over the middle, and it is caught inside the 5
What a
for a
catch.
fresh set of downs.
What a catch. Did say McLovin on it too? What an amazing catch to move the chains. And it looks like Marcus Brooks is a little bit slow to get up. That's not Brooks. That's a larger gentleman, possibly Ken Washington. And just you can see that catch, the reach, the stretch by Tramel Gooden.
And Gooden went kind of down with an injury earlier on this drive. To come back in and make a leaping grab like that.
Now the clock is running. Okay, so now the game is going to end. This is how it ends. I don't know why Harrisburg's not calling timeouts.
I guess they know they
All right.
can't come back. So that will do it tonight in this AIF matchup. The Columbus Lions stay undefeated at 4-0. The Harrisburg Stampede dropped their 2nd game in a row and also their 2nd game in a row to the Columbus Lions. 42-34. The Stampede had their chances. They were right there in it. Just couldn't get over that hump in the end. Mike, any final thoughts?
Well, it was interesting the way this game ended, but I can applaud the fight of the Harrisburg Stampede. Not a lot going in their favor in the first half, yet they continue to battle. And even though the score will say they lost by 8, in some ways the game wasn't as close, but you cannot deny the heart that you saw from the Stampede team tonight. They really fought till the very end.
They almost had it. Just some great plays, highlight reel plays, like I said, from Isaac Hurd. Not enough as they fall 42-34. Thank you for joining us tonight on the Harrisburg Stampede YouTube, brought to you by the Sports Fan Base Network. For Mike Garland, myself, Luke Nichols, signing off.